Hi, I'm so happy you're here. My name is Justina and I love talking to angels. Yes, you heard me right. If you love angels, if you want to develop your connection with angels, if you're curious about angels, please stick around because I have an amazing offer at the end of this video. And if you don't really have any connection with angels and you're thinking about turning off this video because you think maybe I've gone crazy, please stick around. I'll share my story, how the angels found me. And let me tell you, you are watching this video for a reason. It's not an accident. There are no accidents. So if you're here, that means that angels have message for you. So I hope you'll give the angels a chance and me and watch this video till the end. So about me, I didn't grow up religious. I didn't have any special psychic abilities as a kid, or maybe I did, but they had no room to develop because I grew up in the Soviet Union times where this was simply not allowed. So I grew up in a family of teachers, many of them mathematicians. So I was very much on the logical side. I actually have a master's in economics. So I grew up a strong, independent, powerful woman, believing that's the only way to live is to be independent and to do everything yourself. But the universe has a different plan for me. And about 3 years ago, in spring 2016, I was in a crisis. And I had previously in 2015, I had discovered the law of attraction, which I loved. Before that, I was working as a life coach, and before that as a corporate coach, as a trainer, and changing careers several times. And I had discovered law of attraction. I loved it. I knew about it before, of course, but I never really got it. And in 2015, I did get it. And I loved it, and I was so excited about it. I was talking to everyone about it, and I immediately created a pool of an audience, a client list. I started working with individual clients, with group clients, created one group program, then the second, then the third. Things were running smoothly. And then about half a year later, things just started going down the hill with no explanation. I was doing the work. I was journaling, writing down my goals, thinking about what I want. And I was even doing the second part, which is often forgotten in working with the law of attraction, which is I was actually releasing negative emotions. I was doing EFT tapping every day. So I seemed to be doing everything right, but things were just going down the hill. And people, my clients were, of course, sensing that something was off in my energy. So they were not booking me anymore. So I was devastated. And in that crisis, and in my life, the biggest problems I had were manifesting in a way of a lack of money, in debt, and financial problems. And so in that crisis, when I was going deeper into debt, I had no idea what I was doing. And how to fix my situation. I remember I would get when the day would come when I would have to pay my mortgage or even my phone bill, I would be totally mortified, thinking that I should just die because I'm not able to pay for it. I was drowning in shame, which is also something that's very common for financial troubles. We feel ashamed, which is a very dark feeling because we feel that something is wrong with us, not just that we did something wrong. And so in that dark night of the soul, I received a free download of an ebook from three different sources. And when I received it the third time, I was like, okay, I have to download it. Besides, the name of the book was Angels of Abundance. And because my troubles were with lack and with finance, and this was the Angels of Abundance, so this sparked my interest that maybe there is some hope for me, because I was still trying to find a way out. And so I downloaded the book, and by some miracle, I read it from the beginning towards the end. And that was the beginning of my very special relationship with angels, because this was actually the first time I realized that asking for help is not a sign of weakness, because I used to think that the only people who ask for help are the ones who are not able to do things themselves, and that's just a sign of weakness. And I also used to think that asking for help means giving up. It means if I have exhausted all my options and if I did everything I could think of, and then if still I don't know what to do, then I give up and I ask for help. But in that book, Doreen explained very beautifully that it's not really so. And just because I'm asking for help, it doesn't mean I'm taking anything away from anybody, because the angels are always around us. They're always ready to help us. And all they need is for us to ask them to help, because they respect us so much. They have so much love for us. They don't want to break our free will. And if they see we're struggling, I have this image that, for example, when I am struggling, I often think, oh my God, why am I doing this again? What's wrong with me? How can I not get life the way other people do? So I'm just talking myself down. But the angels are actually looking at me and also other people who are struggling, and they are admiring us and saying, wow, look at this creative human being. And I'm curious, how is she going to solve this? What new creative way is she going to find? It quite a difference, right? So the angels are always there to help. And when I read that book, I, of course, in the material, in the physical world, nothing changed overnight. I don't want to give you an impression that I read that book and boom, money started falling from the sky. They didn't. Although I've heard some stories that sometimes they do, if that's what's called for. But in my case, I felt just a little bit, just a ray of light in my darkness. And that's where everything starts, because we create our own reality. So we create how we feel. And I began to feel a little bit of hope, and that maybe there is some help. And I have this visual that Doreen explains beautifully in that book. She says that she tells a story how she was working with this client who had all these financial troubles, and that she saw that in the energy, in that client's energy field, it was full of these like mud or oily mud things in her energy. So that angels were not able to get in, but they were picking up this whole mess and trying to make some room where they could bring in some help for her. And so after that, whenever I was really hurting and feeling lost and worrying that maybe this whole thing is not really working and I'm not getting any help that I'm imagining that I'm getting. So I would hold that image in my mind and repeat to myself that the angels are working on me, they're helping me, and it's just going to take a while, because it's been a long time of me creating those wrong beliefs that needed to be cleared so that I could feel different and create a different life. So the inside shift started immediately. And after a while, I realized, as I know now, that that crisis was needed, because that was the only way to shake me, to really get me to see that this was not the way to live. And before that time, I used to really believe that my worth and my value was based on what clothes I wear, what makeup I use, and on all these superficial things, which even on what job I do. Job is, of course, more important, but still it doesn't define me in any way. And so because I had these wrong beliefs, the angels were really like, they led me through this crisis so that I would be, so that I would break. And then when I broke, I cracked open, and then I said, okay, there has to be some other way, because the way I did it all these years before that wasn't working. So because of that, I'm grateful for that crisis, because it showed me a different world. It showed me that there is another world. It opened my third eye, I think, or I also like to call it intuition. It just led me to see that there's more to this world than just what our eyes can see and what our ears can hear. And it also helped me to feel safe. And even though safety is not often something we put on our vision board as something that we want to manifest. Feeling safe is the core of everything, and the angels really helped me in this crisis, and everything what happened afterwards helped me see that I'm always safe, and there, even though I may not feel very abundant, there's always enough for right now, for this moment. And I remember every time I used to worry, I would begin to worry, it's like, oh my God, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for this? How will I do this? I would always get this message that there is enough time. Don't worry. We are solving everything. We're working this out for you. And everything will be okay. And I'm not in any way saying that there's nothing that you need to do anymore when you're working with the angels. Definitely, you still have to do the work, but it's so much easier with the angels because the stronger your connection develops, the more guidance you get, and the more you get clear on what you need to do and what you need to stop doing. I often get this feeling that I take one step and then the angels show me the next step to take, and then I take one step myself and then they show me some other steps that I have to take, and so we are co-creating this life together. One more moment about asking for help. I know that I still struggle with asking for help, and I'm sure many of you do. So the beautiful thing about angels is you don't really have to tell anybody. You can just ask the angels for help silently in a prayer, and no one has to know unless you decide to share it with others. That made it easier because we are not in this as Kyle Gray, one of the great angel teachers, says that we are here to do this with support. We're not here to live this life alone. It's too hard. But with spiritual support, it can be easy and even fun. So for a while, I was developing my connection with the angels, and I told nobody. I was literally in the angel closet, and nobody knew. But as my connection with them developed, and I started asking, for example, one time I asked for a physical sign in the physical world. I said, okay, angels, I feel that you're there. I feel that you are really helping me. But please, could you just show me a sign in the physical world? And that was an amazing story, but that's for a different video because this one is going to be quite a long one already. So I didn't tell anybody for a while. And then when I started talking about it, just because the stories were so amazing, I remember for the first time, I told my two best friends, and I was watching them closely, like, are they thinking I'm crazy? Are they thinking less of me because I'm asking for help? And all these other fears I had. But what I saw in their faces was interest, excitement, admiration. And they were like, you have to share the story because it's amazing. And then I got really brave, and I started sharing. I shared the first public video in my own language, in Lithuanian, in spring of 2018. And that was also amazing, even though I was really scared and I was prepared for some negative feedback, but I didn't get any. And instead, I got all these comments and emails and replies and letters from people who said that they were also working with angels. They were also feeling that connection, but they thought this was just a coincidence. They thought they were crazy. They thought they were making this up and all these other things. So I feel that it's really important to talk about it so that more people can discover angels and can get the wonderful support, because angels are always there. They're always close, and they're always ready to help us. Some of the most common ways how angels are trying to reach you, in case you're wondering now, if maybe you have been getting angel messages all along and haven't been really paying attention, which is likely. Two of the most common ways how angels communicate with me, one is angel numbers, and that's going to be a whole other video, so please subscribe to my channel because I have some crazy stories there. And another one is with angel cards, and I have an amazing offer connected with these cards that I will tell you in a minute. I'm going to I want to pay it forward because Angels of Abundance has really transformed my life and helped me. And of course, there was still loads of work I had to do, and I still do, and a lot of other healing modalities that I use. But angels are always there. They're always supporting me, and life is just so much easier with their support. So I want to pay it forward, and I'm offering a free card draw. All you have to do is sign up in this video below, and I will draw a card from this wonderful deck of Angels of Abundance personally for you, so you can get a personal message and you can begin to develop your connection with the angels. And also, when you sign up, you'll get more emails from me with more stories and more specifics. So I really hope you will join me. And also, I have created a closed special Facebook group only for this event. This is happening all the way through September. And the cards are coming out in the closest Sunday after you sign up. So if you sign up in the last days of August, then you will get your card in the 1st of September. If you sign up in the middle of August, then you'll get your card on like 22nd of September or something like that. And in any time you can join the Facebook group and meet all the other angel lovers and people who are curious about angels. So I really hope you will give angels a chance and sign up. I will also draw 2 cards just for now for us. The amazing thing about the cards is that they bring the message of exactly what you need to hear at that moment. And if you're watching this right after this is released, that means you're ready for that message now. And if you're watching this 2 years later, that means this is the moment for you to get that message. Okay, so I will just show you the beautiful back of the cards. And let me just pull 2. 1 and 2. Okay, the one message is a gratitude list. It says, counting your blessings and feeling gratitude for what you already have helps you to be centered in your heart instead of fixated on worries in your mind. What and who are you grateful for right now? Keep focusing upon gratitude and you'll discover the amazing generosity of this universe. So that's the invitation for all of us to keep a gratitude list and to remember that there are always, always so many things to be grateful for. And another one is actually the topic I've been been talking about for a while today, which is have courage to ask for and accept help. Asking for help is a sign of strength, as is accepting it as it is offered to you. Very often when you ask God for help, prayers are answered through other people. Be sure to accept this assistance as well as give it to others as you are guided. So let's stay grateful and let's accept help. And let's ask for help, and let's have courage to ask for help, and let's accept help. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you will sign up for your free card draw and also for more videos from me. I would be so grateful. And if you love this video, please share it with your friends so they can also develop their connection and relationship with the angels. Remember that angels are always close and they're always ready to help. All you have to do is ask. Bye.